If you train hard and you eat healthy consistently, you're always going to lose weight and get in shape. You don't need to do so much analyzing and studying the science of how the body works and counting every single calorie and stuff. I know people like to do that and that can work, but I don't enjoy that approach. I just find that's too much analyzing. You end up suffering, it becomes punishment, it becomes an unhealthy obsession. And I prefer it this way. I prefer to just have common sense. You know what the principles are, you know what the science behind them are, and you haven't got to analyze them. You just got to put the work in and enjoy it. And when you enjoy it, you don't even analyze, you just forget. And then all of a sudden, you notice you've got results. You notice that you're fitter, your mental health's better, you're leaner, or you lose more weight, or you appreciate your body, you enjoy the training, you get more you get more discipline with your diet, your training, your routine. You're making progress in all area, with the eating healthy, with the effort that you're putting in. You're appreciating your experience more. Learned that a long time ago, and I had to really learn not to listen to people when they're giving unsolicited advice. Even if it's the right advice, it can come from the wrong place when they're pushing things that they've read or other people. So that's a discipline that I've withheld for a long time. And of course, you learn from someone. When you want to learn, you ask them. They're coming from a good place, they're talking sense. But generally, once you know what to do, you know what to do. You don't need to question it or get approval from other people or check or argue, because you've got the results and you know it. People's opinions are, it doesn't matter what they really say. It's, you're happy with how you're training, it's working, you've got the results, you've achieved the goals that you've set out for yourself. So I found this is helpful for me. And then sometimes, to contradict what I've said a little bit, then you might go, oh, actually, I've had so much fun now, I've got the results, and maybe I will start to analyze things a little bit more so I can get a better understanding, but from a healthy place, not from a place of like never being happy, always being resentful, always comparing, always trying to outdo other people. It's all about the place that you come from with regards to being happy in what you're doing and not then being unhappy. Because I've seen over the years many people who are unhappy. They might have great bodies, great physique, in great shape, discipline, analyzing and checking everything, but they're miserable. They don't enjoy what they do. They don't appreciate it because they analyze too much, never happy, where other people are so happy and they don't analyze as closely. Because if you analyze something long enough, you'll always find a problem. It will always go to that place where, sort of, I learned that from OCD, you get to a bad part. Something gets like depressing. Whereas if you just train hard, train smart within that just kind of goes hand in hand, the intelligence, the strategy, that just takes care of itself because it incorporates the principles and science and your own experiences and how your body feels, how it works for you, which is going to be not the same for every single person. It's kind of a double bind in that the kind of principles work for everyone, but sometimes there's some subtle differences in how some people's bodies react differently to certain exercises or diets, and someone could do my diet and it wouldn't work for their body. It could be counterproductive in training, and someone else could do it and it could really work. So you've got to find what works for you within the principles and the science and the calories and the counting or the tracking or however you do it. But when you get to the stage where you eat healthy, I don't need to track my calories or things. I did when I was younger, but I wouldn't enjoy that now particularly. I just go by experience and feel and how I feel and can see my body's in shape. And you get intuitive over time. Your intuition teaches you a lot, and you kind of got a rough idea of what the calories in most things are anyway, the rough estimate. And then, so for me, that approach doesn't work. It doesn't work in terms of happiness. And sometimes when you're analyzing too much, you're just wasting time that you could be putting more effort in to get those results. So I've always found that. I've always kind of incorporated that in my life and in my teachings, whatever I'm doing. But I understand why people do it. It depends on you, how you're wired up, how you've grown up, what you value, the way that your mindset is, your personality, your worldview. And some people do better that way. They like to study and analyze every single little thing they do. and where others are more just like get on with it, put the work in, warrior spirit. They're intelligent enough, they're intuitive, they might know all these things already. They don't really have to go over it and study every little intricacy. They just put the work in, but there's a real intelligence behind what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they understand it, but they don't have to analyze. They don't have to overanalyze their own intelligence. They don't have to overanalyze the actions that they need to take, the habits and the discipline from day to day, because they've got experience, they've got results, and there is a trust there. So that's my view on it.